At the Applied Ergonomics Conference, you'll find engineers, safety professionals, students, and leaders from across industries, all focused on one thing: improving the way people work. But what makes this conference unique isn't just the technology or the solutions, it's the people behind them, their ideas, innovative solutions, and their shared goal of making work safer and more efficient. In this episode of Problem Solved, we're taking you onto the floor of the Applied Ergonomics Conference 2026, where we had a front row seat to exhibitors, keynote speeches, and Ergo Cup teams. We hear different viewpoints from conversations with attendees. We explore what's changing in ergonomics, what's being built, and why this work matters. At its core, ergonomics isn't all about tools or technology. It's about people and what work feels like at the end of the day. Whether someone can go home the same way they came in.
I'm Justin. I'm from Denver. I'm with Ford, the parts department. So we pick the parts, and we ship them off to dealers. So we have a lot of parts that are heavy, a lot of parts that we pick a lot of, small parts, big parts, boxes that are odd. So we kind of look what's new on how we can make our job safer so we can go home the way we came in. There's a lot of the exhibitors that have been here before, and they've come up with new things of that we can implement or we can try out through the warehouse.
Awesome.
I'm Dr. Joe Michels. I'm the Executive Managing Director at Solomon Bruce Consulting in Fort Worth, Texas. 44 years as a IISC member, and I was made a fellow a couple of years ago.
Excellent. And what brings you to the conference today?
We were short of volunteers here for the conference, and Donna Calvert called and said, "Joe, I need you to come help." I said, "I would love to come help."
What excites you most about industrial systems engineering in general?
With the people you work with and the challenges and the opportunities to be able to improve life for human beings.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
At Applied Ergo, you quickly realize you're not alone in that mission. This is a community made up of people from completely different backgrounds, all coming together around a shared purpose, whether this is your 5th time at Applied Ergo or your first.
My name is Abby McCoy. I work with Delta Airlines. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a program manager for health, wellness, and ergonomics.
How has your experience been so far?
It has been very eye-opening. I didn't really know what to expect when I came in, but I know we're all here for one purpose of ergonomics and safety in general, but the vast majority of backgrounds and people's education and involvement levels it's very eye-opening and great to see those different perspectives.
Have you seen anything so far that you can take back with you?
A lot of really great conversations, working with people of different generations, building a program from the start to finish, like the different pieces that go into it, and then meeting great people of very diverse backgrounds.
My name is Nolan Audette. I am an industrial engineering student at UT Arlington. I'm here volunteering today, and I just wanted to get involved with these great IISC conferences, and I love seeing everything that's going on. I mean, there's robotics, there's ergonomics, there's desk work. I mean, there's everything here.
Next, we hear from Maddie and Maya and their friend Eileen, a skeletal spine with a surprisingly strong presence at the conference. And yes, Eileen, as in Eileen.
Eileen introducing herself? I'll say this is Eileen. Eileen's here.
You should definitely do that.
Okay.
And here's why they and she keeps coming back to Applied Ergo.
Hi, my name's Maya Peleg. I am the Global Ergonomic Engineer for Copeland. I am a co-chair for the work committee, and I am a networking co-chair for the conference.
My name's Maddie. I'm an associate ergonomist at Human Scale. I co-chair the work committee with Maya, and I also have the pleasure of sitting on the Applied Ergonomics Society Board of Directors. And this is Eileen. She's a little quiet today. It's a lot of people around us.
Camera
you guys can't see, but she's working on it.
Okay, what brings you guys to the conference?
I love coming to the conference. I come every single year. Just being around a group of people that share the same passion for ergonomics that I do is very refreshing. seeing all the Ergo Cup teams and all the solutions it's just a great experience, and great to see all the creativity and see some old friends.
Yeah, I would just echo that. I think the conversations that we have here at the conference really are special. It's rare that I think we get to have these passionate conversations with people who are just as passionate as us. And sometimes you make some great friends along the way.
Eileen is, I'm saying this now, you've heard it here first. Eileen is going to be the mascot for the Applied Ergonomics Society.
So at the conference, and you'll see shortly, we'll have some videos coming up interviewing some of our conference attendees here who will meet Eileen as well, and answering some fun little questions. So that's just some part of what we do at the work committee. We also host lots of different events. We have a Discord to check out for, so keep an eye out for those things.
And when you bring all of those perspectives together, something interesting happens. People start seeing their own work differently, sometimes in really simple yet brilliant ways. This is Jena Peterson, an RN. She's the medical professional on PPG's Ergo Cup team, container tugger modification.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn.
It's a lot to learn.
Especially as a nurse, because I normally see the after effects.
Yes.
So what I've taken away mostly from this conference, what I've enjoyed the most is seeing the modifications that they've made or the changes that they've made and being like, oh, duh. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
How long were you doing it that really dumb way? What a great idea.
Jena and the PPG team at the end of the conference took home an Ergo Excellence win in the category of Business Impact ROI.
Thank you for having me. My name is Kristine Dungo. I am the corporate engineer for specifically ergonomics engineer at Cintas Corporation. I am also the Applied Ergonomics Society president for this coming year, so very excited for that.
And we're here at the very first night of AEC, and we're sitting in the exhibit hall. So what are you most excited about for the conference this year?
I'm always excited to come every year. I get to learn from all of these people. My favorite part is the competition. You get to see people from all different companies create the simplest things to the most complex things, and you really get to learn from each other. And I think that's what it's all about, is really getting together with people who have the same interest of making the workplace better for everyone.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges facing ergonomics right now?
Things are moving pretty quick, and I think when you think of advancements for any type of, whether it's technology and anything like that, I think there's so many things out there, and it's trying to digest everything all at once. And I think the Applied Ergonomics Conference is the best way to go, because there are so many places and people to meet, learn from, and they have all these different types of learning sessions that you can actually learn all of the different advancements, or just getting your program just started. It's an awesome place to be right now.
Cintas was an Ergo Cup winner for focused workplace solutions, manual material handling tasks for the trolley tugger. Of course, many of the solutions being discussed here are driven by advances in technology, AI, wearables, and new tools that are changing how we understand risk and design better systems. Julia Abate is not only an IISE Fellow, but representing the Ergonomics Center at NC State, a sponsor of this year's conference and an organization that helps businesses build those better systems. Welcome to Problem Solved. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Julia Abate, and I am the Executive Director at the Ergonomics Center at NC State.
Okay, great. And let's see, you are a pretty recent IISE Fellow.
I am.
Longtime IISE member. So what has that recognition meant to you, and how does that all play in with ergonomics? What does that mean for the future of ergonomics and IISE?
Well, the fellow's very recent, and as I was going through that process, I did find out that there aren't that many folks within the ergonomics world that have the IISE Fellow. So I've made it a little bit of my mission to promote that within this organization, or this, I should say, world, and try and see how many folks we can get in the ergonomics world to become IISE Fellows.
Great.
NC State, we are an extension of NC State. Okay. So we are housed in the Industrial Systems Engineering there, but we are actually an extension of the university in that we work mostly with companies out in the world.
Okay.
So we work with them to help them develop their programs in ergonomics, do training, analysis, whatever they might need, kind of meet them where they're at, and then help them get where they want to go within the ergonomics world.
Okay, interesting. So when companies come to you, do you find that companies are coming to you more and more with like a certain problem that you're seeing, like kind of like a trend that they're coming to you asking to help solve?
So there's typically two major places that they come. It's either when they're seeing an issue, they've had injuries in an area and they need help addressing it. So we'll go out there and do an analysis and give them some recommendations for controls and see if we can help them solve that problem. And then you have some companies that are actually being very proactive. So they're forming ergonomics teams, they're working on developing and growing their program, and they work with us. We do some coaching of their team, some training, and kind of become long-term partners to help them maintain and grow their program into a culture, basically.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So being in this field for a while now, how has it changed, like maybe in the last 5 years? What does it look like 5 years ago compared to now?
Definitely, everyone talks about AI, and that has definitely been the technology side between exoskeletons and wearables, computer vision systems. I think that there's a lot of different products and things out there that people can use. I just always tell people, make sure you're doing your research, talk to folks who are out there using it, find out what their pain points are. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's so many people out there implementing it. Learn from the folks who are, and make sure that you're using the right product for your process, because not every product is matched to the process, but there's probably something out there that will work for you.
Okay. Velocity EHS, another sponsor. This conversation is focusing in on a part of the body that is often overlooked by many ergonomists. This is Rachel.
So my name is Rachel Zoky. I am a certified professional ergonomist with Velocity EHS, and I am our product manager for our ergonomics solutions. So Velocity EHS, we are a software as a service company, and we have a suite of softwares ranging from chemical management, safety, industrial hygiene, and then obviously ergonomics.
And we've got an article coming out in ISE Magazine shortly. And can you talk a little bit about that article?
Yeah, so that article was kind of prompted by a new solution that we're going to have coming out later this year, which is about hands and wrist models. So really what that is focusing in on is the fact that in ergonomics, it's very easy for us to focus on back risk and, those kind of large body areas. They're highlighted in a lot of data. They're easily discernible in a lot of whole body ergonomics models. But then you run into problems with certain industries, such as like pharmaceuticals and things where they work on very small things.
Yeah. And
those large models, you kind of lose the hands in those large overall body models. Whereas what our new tool is hoping to do is kind of focus in on the hands specifically and understand, yes, we can still look at the whole body, but we want to make sure we don't lose sight of the hands. So what I kind of highlight in that article is it's a personal story for me. If you've hurt your back and if you've been through that, yes, it's a problem. We want to address that, of course. But you can still live your life to some extent. You can still sit on the couch, you can read, there's a lot of things you can still do. If you lose your hands, if you lose the functionality because of carpal tunnel or you lose grip strength, things like that, there's not a lot of things you can do just in daily life. My mom went through that personally, and it was very hard on her mentally, emotionally. She spent a whole summer with, carpal tunnel in both hands, and that really, really hindered her quality of life. So the AI tool that we are promoting and that we are working on releasing is basically to help companies really understand the risk that their operators are under for their hands and not lose sight of that.
Can you talk a little bit more about how that tool helps?
Yeah, so it's motion capture, very similar to our whole body model, but it's focusing in on just the hands, and then it uses the composite strain index and the duet tool to actually take the postures and the forces, frequency, all of those fun risk factors that the AI identifies, and then runs it through those two professional ergonomics tools, so that you have risk ratings for that you can use just like you use all your other risk ratings. So you have the red, yellow, green that everyone's familiar with, and you can prioritize and use that as data-driven decision making.
Okay, fascinating.
Yeah.
But even with all that innovation, one thing became very clear. Having the right solution isn't always enough. You have to be able to implement that solution. I spoke to Kristianne after that morning's keynote speaker, Mark Bendon. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Kristianne Egbert. I work with Briotics Health, and I'm our senior corporate ergonomist. I am doing the Beyond the Data, the soft skills of ergonomics. So I came up with this idea. I've been doing a lot of our ergo launches, going out and helping safety teams, ergo teams learn how to implement ergonomics programs. And I can teach them the skills. Okay, here's how you do a risk assessment. Here's how you come up with solutions, kind of walking them through that. But the soft skills, I realized, was not something that everybody had. So I go out, I have them watch me do a risk assessment first and collect the data and talk to the operators. And then when it was their turn to go out and do it, they were kind of like, what do I say? I'm not sure where to start. Well, these are your friends. You've worked with them for 20 years. And they're like, yeah, but what do I say? And they were a little stuck with kind of where to go from there. So there's kind of that side of it. And then the other side of it was, oh yeah, we implemented these solutions, but it's sitting in the corner and nobody's using it.
Did you get a chance to watch the keynote this morning?
I did. He was amazing. Yeah, I actually related a lot to that, just kind of being probably the kid that was looking for the things to do and looking at those improvements. I can remember as a kid, my dad we like to go on canoe trips, and he said, I don't know, I don't think we're going to be able to carry another canoe. And I'm like, well, what if you made one that the cross pieces come off and it fits over the top? And he's like, yeah, okay, I think we could do that. And we did. And from a young age, he was like, you should be an engineer. No, I don't want to do that. I want to work with people. And figured out a way to do both. So, yeah.
At the end of the day, the most effective solutions don't come from data or models. They come from the people actually doing the work. Incoming chair of the conference, Lisa Brooks.
Hi, I'm Lisa Brooks. I am a principal at Nexus HSE, and I am making the connection between HOP, Human and Organizational Performance, and ergonomics. So really trying to motivate those in the ergonomics and human factors community to become involved in their organization's HOP journey, because we are, as ergonomists and human factors practitioners, we are uniquely skilled and qualified to really help advance the HOP journey of the different companies.
Okay.
So HOP, Human and Organizational Performance, is really changing the landscape of safety and operational excellence in industry. So I want to make sure that the ergonomists are part of it and leading it and helping shape it, because we have a lot unique to offer.
And with it changing so differently, what do you think it's going to look like in the next couple of years? This renaissance that's happening in health and safety and really operational excellence has brought in a better appreciation and value for the voice of the worker, understanding that the workers have some unique, I'll call it operational intelligence, so intelligence about how work gets done that no one else has, and they have it because you only can acquire it through doing work. Yeah.
So, and as ergonomists, we've known that our whole careers. We've always appreciated the knowledge that workers have, the unique things they have to do, adaptions they have to make to figure out how to get work done, because with the best planning, with the best oversight, work is always dynamic, it's always changing. So, and workers find a way to get work done despite how it gets presented to them.
Nowhere is that more visible than in the Ergo Cup competition, where teams from across industries bring real-world problems and the solutions they've built to solve them. Again, Lisa Brooks.
My favorite part of the conference every year is the Ergo Cup teams.
Yeah.
It is so energizing talking to the Ergo Cup teams, having them tell their story and to see their energy. Some of these people have never been to conferences. They certainly, many of them have never presented before, and they were part of making a difference in their plant and to get to listen to them tell their story and the energy and the passion they have, it's amazing.
That's great.
So
I'm Virgil Watson. I'm here with Lockheed Martin for the Ergo Cup competition. We are here to present a boroscope tool. So if you need to look into something that's really long and narrow and dark, you can use a boroscope. Think of a straw, but that goes on a helicopter blade. So really long, really important to inspect. And we used really cool tools, pole-mounted pan tilt cameras, but it was ergonomically a nightmare. So think of like a pool, like when you scoop out your pool, you have to like extend the telescoping pole and then you have to tighten it up. Mm-hmm. You have to do that over and over again. Mm-hmm. And the pole, as it extends in, it's all cantilevered, so it sways. So you have to wait for the picture to be still so you can inspect it. And so it took the inspector 16 hours to do one of these inspections. And by the end of the first day, back was hurting. Doing this for 16 hours is not good. We brainstormed, like, what would you want? Some of the things that she pointed out is, because this took 16 hours, you need logical braking spots. So don't just do a camera, because you're going to have to go to lunch, and you're going to have to come back and remember where you were. So we made a sled with channels. So you could inspect the first channel, and then take a break, go do another inspection, come back to it, know where you left off. And she said, it'd be really cool if we did this all in one tool. So we took what we were thinking might be two tools, put it all into one. Looked like it was going to work. Some of the work that I do is with machine vision and AI system. In those, you're always focused on getting the best image, the lighting and the optics, because the computer can't strain its eyes or move over to the left or right. You're stuck with what you've got. We 3D printed a model. It worked. And so we were able to make a couple of working models that are pretty strong. And the inspection that was, initially was 16 hours, now it's 2 hours, and it doesn't hurt to do it. It's easy.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sounds amazing. Well, good luck to your team.
Thanks.
That team did take home the Ergo Cup for new product or new job design solutions for heavy lift rotary wing aircraft boroscope lighting sled.
Hi, I'm David Clardy. I'm a maintenance manager at the US 10 Michelin facility in Anderson, South Carolina. We make giant mining tires at our facility, and we are here with a team competing in the Ergo Cup. This is our 4th year in a row. So we make giant mining tires, 12 to 13 foot tall tires that weigh 4 to 5 metric tons. So with giant tires, we have giant equipment to build these tires. Our problem resolved around at the top of one of our assemblies, 22 feet in the air, we had a shaft that would break. There would be some flexing to the shaft, and with collaboration between our reliability and maintenance teams, we came up with a solution to be able to add in a new bearing in the center of the shaft with an adjustable mount that was able to completely solve that risk. We also took it a step further and made it to where the whole assembly is modular. So instead of having to repair this assembly at 22 feet in the air, we're able to repair it at the ground level.
What does it feel like to be part of this competition?
Oh, we love coming to the AEC Ergo Cup and being part of this competition. Again, we end up building camaraderie with the other competitors. It's not us against them, but it's about what all of these 40-something teams that have come together in the competition. Part of the ROI that we feel that we as a team bring back to our plant is we'll get a brochure from all the competitors, and we'll build these 3-ring binders and place them in different break rooms, and we'll tell operators, maintenance teams, engineers, quality teams, as you're taking a break, thumb through these brochures, see what kind of ideas other teams have taken a problem, came up with a solution. What can we do to manipulate that a little bit, still with pride, and come up with additional solutions from what others have made progress in at our own facility.
Behind the scenes, judges are evaluating not just technical solutions, but the impact, the collaboration, and the stories behind them.
My name is Dr. Rose Figueroa, CHFP.
And what's your organization that you're with?
Well, I'm here, of course, different hats, but I'm here representing BCPE as the president of the board of directors. I'm actually also part of Human Factors and Ergonomic Society of the Executive Council. So here representing and giving a shout out, of course, and allied for ISE. And then at Rimkus, I'm a consultant as well.
I saw you're wearing a ribbon that says you're Ergo Cup judge. So.
Correct. Yes. I mean, like usual, by far, the Ergo Cup is the most interesting thing and what we always looking forward. And I am blessed and being, part of the Ergo Cup judges, so I get to see the fun also behind the scenes, which is pretty good.
Have you done judging before at the Ergo Cup?
Yes,
Okay.
this would be my second year
What's that
judging.
experience like?
It's really fulfilling. It's nice. I must admit, it's really cool to see the different groups, all the work that they have done, that they need to accomplish. Like, just by being here, they already had to pass on certain levels, and that they now get to show their work, meet the operators, meet maintenance folks, meet people that are not necessarily from that ergonomics team. I think it's a pretty sweet thing, unique for this conference.
From the exhibit hall to the Ergo Cup stage, one theme kept coming up again and again. This work matters. Small improvements make a big difference. Big innovations transform entire processes.
It's like exciting, right?
Mhm.
It's like you do these little things and it's like, this doesn't make an impact. It's like nursing, right? Where it's like you just don't feel, you do the same things every day, right? And it's like, oh, just going through the motions. And then you come to something like this and you get to see how beneficial your idea was, and like other companies are like, oh, we want to do that too, and it like lights that spark back again, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why we do this.
Thanks for joining us on this special episode of Problem Solved from the floor of Applied Ergo 2026. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next. Save the date for next year's AEC 2027 in Atlanta, March 22nd through 25th. Every great solution is a story worth telling.